world, the one and only Mark Central English Zone Peace. How's it going, everybody? I hope you have a good Thanksgiving up here in Canada and around the world. You're enjoying whatever day you pick out of the month to enjoy. I know here in North America, it's some parts it's Columbus Day and some parts it's Thanksgiving. And it's a time to give thanks to all the things that we give thanks to. For me, I give thanks to professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Folks, pro wrestling and mixed martial arts I've been watching since I was a teenager and a kid. So, back in 1993 when, the Ultimate Fighting Championship got started, and in 1998, I think Pride got started, it was really, really huge. And you look at the scene now, it's kind of slowed down. You look at pro wrestling, you look at mixed martial arts, they've all peaked out. But, we the fans still love pro wrestling, mixed martial arts. The future of these two entities are entwined in a lot of ways. I still envision a day where you can still do cross promotion, having both things combined together. Because long term, that will be the business, mixed martial arts and pro wrestling. Because I feel one's real and one's a storyline or a soap opera, basically made up. But it's not totally fake. A lot of these storylines turn out to be real life. Who's to know that some of these real life scenarios that they play will happen in real life? You look at some movies, some things do play out. Rivalries, people beating up one another, people just not liking one another. It's the same thing when you look at mixed martial arts or pro wrestling. But, when you look at all the news I've been reading across the world, Bound for Glory, it's kind of a joke. But no, I wouldn't say it's a joke. I think Bound for Glory did pretty good. I read the results. It was a pretty banged out show. The show was out in Japan really early in the morning, so they didn't even do a tape delay, so I didn't even get to see it. So I just read the play-by-play. I listened to some radio from the boys down in the States, MLD Radio and SNS Radio, and those guys gave me a good commentary on what happened. They weren't that impressed, but it's Bound for Glory. And the most important thing for TNA is to see the Dudley Boys, Team 3D, be inducted to the TNA Hall of Fame. I think that's a positive. As a fan, I've always been a fan of pro wrestling. It's always good to be in the Hall of Fame. Sting's in their Hall of Fame. Kurt Angle's in their Hall of Fame. The only guys that not have in their Hall of Fame is Jeff Jarrett, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Christian should get in their Hall of Fame. CM Punk should get in their Hall of Fame eventually. Jeff Hardy, of course, the Hardy Boys. There's so many. TNA is great, I know they've been struggling in terms of the TV things going on right now, in terms of negotiations. Negotiations are never easy. From what I'm hearing, they'll get something done. I don't know what network they're going to go to, but, if I was a betting man, I would put the money on WGN America. WGN used to be home for the Chicago Cubs. Looks like they're moving on to CM, Comcast, and Fox, I guess. So it looks like TNA might be ending up on one of the biggest networks in the United States, WGN. It's in, I think, about 50 million homes. Not as big as Spike. It was in 100 million, or close to 90 million homes. Who cares? You're in WGN. Let's hopefully they throw some money at the product. I'm really pushing for them to go to WGN. Better than Velocity. It's gonna be hard to pick that up. I don't have HD. I don't have the HD box and stuff like that. I'm still standard, but whatever. It'll still be hard for a lot of us, around the world to pick up TNA. So, they have to do new international agreements, I guess. But, it would be cool to see them go on WGN. Like Spike, you'd be able to pick it up and shit. And, I really hope they go to WGN. I think that's a place to go. Maybe if it's for 1 year. It's 1 year. Bang it out of the park, TNA. That's what you got to do now. It's a year-by-year situation with a lot of these TV networks. WWE got lucky. They got 5-6 years from Comcast. It's like they're bulletproof. Ring of Honor might be getting a TV deal from what I'm hearing. Look for CW or even that American something network, sports network that Sinclair Broadcasting is coming out with sometime, I think, in October. So late October. I think they've already launched it. I think it's in the eastern part of the United States. It's hard to pick it up, but I think they've launched it for the Baltimore-based company. Ring of Honor is a cool product. I mean, Court Bauer is one of their head writers, creative people, one of the big bosses there, and I think it's a good product. It might be independent. It's developed some really great stars like Kevin Steen, your CM Punks, your Daniel Bryans, your so many great stars, man. I've been to Ring of Honor, and Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian. I mean, these are some really great talents, and Ring of Honor has a lot of potential. And I think Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett's getting going. I think that would do good too. It's been kind of slow on the news with Jeff Jarrett and and his promotion in Global Force Wrestling, but from what I hear, it's progressing. It takes time. They're still negotiating with TV networks, and it takes time. Expect some surprises. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeff end up on Spike in January, and TNA ending up on WGN for all of 2015. So I could see 3 or 4 more promotions get started up on national television. You got Lucha Libre on the El Rey network. I wouldn't be surprised if Fox picks up a few episodes and puts it on maybe on FX or something, or whatever. They might put it up on their big network, or they put it on Fox Sports 1. But I wouldn't be surprised if AAA, the Underground show, a few episodes will be shown on one of the Fox networks. I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. I mean, anything can happen in the TV business, right? So until you have Mark Burnett behind it, anything's possible. Anything's still possible. So, I mean, pro wrestling, I know all you fans out there still love your pro wrestling, love The Rock coming back, you love, the Hardy Boys, the Team 3D and the Wolves, and amazing tag team match. I mean, ladders, tables, chairs. I mean, it's like the good old days of when you had Christian, Edge, and the Dudleys, and you had the Hardy Boys. I mean, it's sweet, man. Those guys can really go at it. I watched that match last week on Spike, and it was really a lot of fun. And that's what I love about wrestling, man. Every show, they put as much energy into their character. They put as much energy into delivering the best product they possibly can, and and that's why I love pro wrestling. And it might come, it might come as hokey or whatever, but it's not hokey. Wrestling's cool. Storylines sometimes could be cheesy, could be hokey pokey. That's what you got now, Rusev and now Big Show and The Rock. It's hokey pokey. Come on, folks, call what it is. Garbage. So hopefully the rumors that Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back, hopefully he does come back. And man, they need that guy. They need that guy to come in, cut some amazing promos, put Triple H in his place, same thing with The Rock, put him in his place, put Orton in his place, put Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, the entire brain trust into that place. Just like in TNA, you saw with Bully Ray, he put Dixie Carter and Ethan Carter in their place. Because that's what it is. These people have all the money, have all the authority, they have all this and that. Man, come on. If I was chairman of one of these major wrestling promotions, let me tell you, there's a lot of things that would change. And I mean a lot of stuff. I would bring in guys from the past that were great personalities, and I'd get rid of all the writers. You know why? I'd bring back bullet points. It's one thing they had in Vern Gagne's AWA. I mean, it was an awesome show. I mean, I watched them on ESPN Classics, and it's just amazing how they got it. They put on a good show for the fans. They really, it was bigger than life. They didn't go from arena to arena, from place to place, from town to town, from country to country. They just kept that basic, and that's what I miss in pro wrestling. If it was up to me, Jim Ross would still be doing play-by-play in the WWE. But I found out that he's been doing some play-by-play in the mixed martial arts battleground with former champion Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen has really become one of the great people to ever use a microphone. He's one of the greats. Now doing commentary. I wouldn't be surprised if Bellator, starting 2015, they make a phone call and bring them in to take over for Wheelock and Jimmy Smith. So I don't know. I don't think they'll replace them, but they'll have like a tandem type thing. Or maybe UFC may bring them in. We'll see. But there's still talk of Global Force Wrestling needing commentators. And who better to have than Jim Ross, Chael Sonnen, and maybe a CM Punk. There's been rumors that CM Punk might be going to TNA. I want to rule it out, especially if they go to WGN. There's talk that Kurt Angle might be going back to the WWE. And the rumors will not end. So don't be surprised if he goes back to the E. Goldberg goes back to the WWE in the near future. And you already have Hogan, you already have Sting, and you have some of the great young stars coming up from the New Japan promotion. You have guys like Kenta, Haido, Kanomi, and then you have Kevin Steen from Ring of Honor, another big star. And you have Prince Devitt and Ascension. I think when Ascension comes up to the big leagues and